We all have a Donald Trump in our lives, someone who wants you to clean up their mess. Except in this case, the mess is a global energy crisis. Now, most of us knew that Iran would shut off the Strait of Hormuz in a war. It was always going to be their trump card. But reports say the US government did not prepare for this. They did not think that Iran would go that far. Well, newsflash, they have. So what is President Trump's new plan? He doesn't want to clean up the mess himself. He wants others to do it for him. Over the weekend, Trump posted this message. Let me quote. Hopefully China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK and others that are affected by this artificial constraint will send ships to the area so that the Hormuz Strait will no longer be a threat by a nation that has been totally decapitated. Trump wants to create a naval coalition. He wants countries to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz. For what? To escort commercial ships through the danger. And how many countries have agreed? So far, 0. Australia has said no, Japan has said no, Greece and Germany have said no, so Trump is raising the stakes. He's asking NATO countries to join this Hormuz coalition. If not, he says NATO will face, and I'm quoting, a very bad future. Still, no one is budging. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is calling for a credible shipping plan. He made it clear that there would be no NATO mission.
We are working with others to come up with a credible plan for the Straits of Hormuz to ensure that we can reopen shipping and passage through the strait. Let me be clear, that won't be, and it's never been envisaged to be, a NATO mission. That'll have to be an alliance of partners, which is why we're working with partners both in Europe, in the Gulf and with the US. It's important that we continue that. It is not straightforward.
This would not be a NATO mission. That's what he said, and NATO is unlikely to change its position. European countries will want to see the hostilities end first. Only then will they consider escorting ships. Otherwise, the risk is immense. One drone or missile could drag them into this war, a war that they're not interested in, a war that they did not start. But here's a more important question. Why does Trump want help? Look at his social media post on the 8th of March. I'm quoting, "The United Kingdom is finally giving serious thought to sending 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East. We don't need them any longer. We don't need people to join wars after we've already won." How about that? In week 1 of fighting, Trump did not want help. He said the war was won. But in week 3, he's openly asking for help. And shockingly, no one is agreeing. Before this coalition request, Trump had another brainwave. He directed his attention to the commercial ships. He asked them to, and I'm quoting, he asked the ships to show some guts. Basically, brave the missiles and drones and sail through the strait. Now, just to be clear, the US Navy has not entered the Strait of Hormuz. Their warships are stationed outside the Gulf region. That is how dangerous the situation is. But Donald Trump is asking commercial ships to make this dangerous journey. No defenses, no weapons, no armor. He's asking them to undertake a suicide journey. Again, it's the same playbook. Create a mess and ask someone else to fix it. He's doing the same to American media, by the way. Trump feels the war coverage is not positive enough. On Saturday, he lashed out at multiple US media outlets. He accused them of peddling fake news. On cue, the US regulator jumped in. He threatened to cancel the broadcast license of several news outlets. If that wasn't alarming enough, the president escalated. He threatened some US outlets with treason charges. I'll repeat that for you. A treason charge for war reporting. Yet the gatekeepers of democracy are silent. No criticism, no outrage. And remember, we're talking about the US media here. They have always defended American wars. Yet Trump has a problem with them. We saw the Secretary of War raise similar concerns. That's the American Defense Minister. He had some suggestions for reporters.
For example, a banner or a headline, "Mideast war intensifies," splashing on the screen the last couple of days, alongside visuals of civilian or energy targets that Iran has hit, because that's what they do. What should the banner read instead? How about Iran increasingly desperate? because they are. They know it, and so do you. Another example of a fake headline that I saw yesterday: war widening. Here's a real headline for you for an actual patriotic press. How about Iran shrinking, going underground?
Classic attempts at headline management, anything to evade responsibility, basically. Trump's military struck and killed more than 150 children in Iran. Yet who is at fault? The media for reporting it. Trump's advisors did not plan for the Hormuz closure. Yet who is at fault? The commercial sailors who refused to sail into a war zone. Also, the US allies who advised against this war in the first place. The fact is, this is Donald Trump's mess. Like we said before the war started, he owns it. The rising energy prices, the rising casualties, all of it can be traced to the US president's decision. He started this war. He must deal with the consequences.